Hello. Welcome into Phoenix PHNX Mercury show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. The crew is here as usual. I'm Corban. We got Aaliyah. We got Mallory. Ladies, how we doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Beyonce dropped this week, so I don't think anything other than a Mercury win could be better than this week. But how about you guys? How's it going?
A little disappointed because last week we predicted, 3-0 for these next 3 games, and we're off to an 0-2 start for those 3 games. So, doing okay.
I love Mallory's just going straight to calling out the truth out here, making it hard for us right here. Because I was like, how far can we get away with not bringing that up? But here we are. Yeah, we were slightly off. Maybe we got the order mixed up. Let's hope not. Elizabeth in chat says hello. Hello, Elizabeth. Actually, I wanted to run this by y'all. What do y'all think about this? We have a lot of loyal listeners. People pop in, always say hello, friends, family, people we don't know who are just friends of the show. What if we called them the PHNX factor? Right?
That's a good one.
I was thinking about that. I was like, thank you. I might roll that out, We're sitting on it. We're sitting on it. That's great. Wow. Yeah, but okay, we gotta get to the news of the day. News of the day being the All-Star game. Background's looking clean. Thanks, Josh. All-Star game that will be coming up in July, but we have our starters. And what I thought was unique about this is I haven't seen this done before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's going to be co-captains. So you're pairing a captain of the team with a retiring legend. In this case, Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart will be paired with Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles, which I think is really cool. A nice shout out to, the legends who have kind of done, set the way, for a lot of the WNBA, and almost similar to what I think it was the 2018, another All-Star game that happened with retiring legends. I thought was a really cool way to integrate them. But we got to run down the All-Star list. We have New York Liberty's Sabrina Ionescu, Las Vegas is Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young. But we also have, of course, Jonquel Jones, Nneka Ogwumike, Jonquel from the Connecticut Sun, Nneka Ogwumike from the Los Angeles Sparks, Candace Parker of the Chicago Sky, and then already mentioned the backcourt here, plus the captain, the co-captain. So all of that, nice stacked list. But we were talking, Mallory and Lee, we kind of brought up, we feel like we're missing somebody. Somebody's missing. And I'm gonna throw it to Mallory because Mallory got some thoughts, but we got to bring it out because one player who I thought has had a pretty solid season, just saying, 18 points per game, 5.3 assists, shooting solid from 3, and yet she's nowhere to be found. Mallory, please tell us who this person is.
This person is Skylar Diggins-Smith. She has been the star of the Phoenix Mercury this season. She's up there in scoring in the whole league. I'm just really confused, really by the other players in the league, because you look at the fan votes, the media votes, she's up there, but players, they have her 14th in guards, and that's just so confusing to me. I can think of maybe like 1 or 2 guards better than her, but 13 other guards better than Skylar Diggins-Smith, I can't name them.
Aaliyah, we got to get your thoughts on this too.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think looking at that kind of lineup for starters, everybody's obviously talented. I don't think Sabrina is above Skylar this year, and I don't think having 3 aces as starters is necessary. Not that, again, all of those 3 players are very talented and everybody on there should be all-stars, but I definitely think Skylar deserves a spot on that starting roster. And I also think having Asia be a captain again, so close to, like, she was just captain in 2019, it was like, I don't know. I feel like there's room for other people to take that spot. Josh saying, dang, didn't realize these players were such haters. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of my foreshadow. Obviously, like, the Mercury don't have the best record so far this season. They're not playing great as a team, but Skylar individually is kind of taking the lead, and really one of the only reasons that we're doing as well as we have, especially against some of the better wins that we've made. So it's unfortunate to see, but she'll be on the court for sure.
Yeah, it's such a toss-up because I just looked at Sabrina's stats, and, they're not too shabby. 16 points per game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Shooting actually better from 3 than Skylar, even though Skylar's shooting better from the field. Like, I see it, and I'm like, well, it's the Liberty. Their record isn't that great. Well, it's tied with ours. So, I mean, I get like it's so weird to me because like, okay, well, on its head, like it's one of those things you watch the games and like Skylar's been like consistent. I think Sabrina's been consistent as well. She's had some really big monster games, but we're talking about like consistent performance across the board. Skylar, I think, has been a more valuable player for the Mercury team. That's just my own thoughts on it. Again, it's hard because between Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum, I'm like, hey, one of them, like all three can play between those two and Asia Wilson, but one of them come off the bench. Like, it's no biggie to me, but they've been playing so well, and Jackie Young in particular has raised her game to such a high level. I get it. Now, like you said, it's just the player voting is where, and Mallory brought up, Leah, further went into it. That's what it's like. There's a salty bunch out there. I mean, and mind you, I'm surprised it's to Skylar Diggins because, all due respect, I'm gonna compare it to another member of our team, Dan Taurasi. A hard-working player, well loved, but she, kind of spikes in the court, not exactly out there making friends. Like if it was Taurasi that was like 14th, I wouldn't be surprised because okay, maybe she's not like the most liked on the court. You know what I mean? And players just kind of like, oh, she's overrated, whatever the case may be. But Skylar, not only does she not kind of have that fiery of a vibe, but like she actually plays like solid. You know what I mean? I would be more outraged if Taurasi was on there and Skylar wasn't, just because we see both of them play and it's night and day. All due respect to Taurasi, but like, yeah, why do we think? I'm gonna throw it back to you real quick because I'm curious. Why do we think she ranked that low? Like you said, like I can think of maybe 3 or 4 guards possibly over her. 14th? No, now we go into like the starting point guard of the Lynx or something. Like
The Lynx who beat us. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, my bad. Whoops.
Okay. Anyway.
We'll get to that.
No, I agree. I don't know why she's ranked so low. I think maybe they're just jealous. That's all I really have to chop it up to is that jealousy is seeping through. Josh saying, didn't Skylar talk mad trash to the Reno crowd? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's those team dynamics and those. Every Skylar still has a very bold and very outspoken personality, which is why we love her. So maybe other people are just aren't can't hold their chops as well as she can, and they're on the hater train, which is unfortunate because she's better than them. So that's all I have to say. At the end of the day, they're just jealous.
It feels like they hate us because they ain't us, right, Mallory?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know if they're jealous because, I mean, when you look at the rankings and how the Mercury have played this season, I wouldn't say people are jealous, but
I know
they can be jealous of Skylar as a player rather than the Mercury as a team.
Exactly.
I try to sort of positive line that you're like, nope. Exactly. Well, that's what the first we're going to get to. I mean, I definitely will be lighting up a pitchfork and calling for someone to be demoted if Skylar's not voted as a reserve next week. That's just going to have to happen because that will be unacceptable. I think she will be. And while we're kind of on this, do we think that Diana Taurasi or Tina Charles will join Skylar? We're just putting Skylar in there because it'd be just a straight up travesty if she was not. But do we think she's the only representative of the Mercury to make it?
I would definitely like to see Tina on there. I think Diana, is playing well. I don't think she's played exceptionally well the entire season. I think she's had really good games. But personally, I think Tina is just a little bit more consistent and more impactful. And so I would definitely like to see her get at least some chops on the All-Star roster for sure. But yeah, I don't know.
Josh saying this is definitely coach's fault, right, Mallory? I haven't been on my coach hating train for the past 2 weeks, but if we have to blame someone, should we blame coach here? No. I'm blaming the players, the other players around the league for not voting Skylar in. But yeah, I'm coach, step it back up. You've lost two games in a row, so I'm gonna get back on my anti-coach here for a second. No, but yeah, I'd love to see Tina Charles, like you said, Aaliyah. And also, I think Diana Taurasi, even if she's not voted as a reserve, she'll be part of the weekend in some capacity just because it's Sue Bird's last season. They love to do things with the two of them together. They're two of the best to ever do it in the league. So I think Taurasi will definitely be involved in some capacity.
I agree. I personally like, I don't know, off the top of my head, just trying to name all the reserves, that possibly there's a lot of talented players in W that definitely had breakout players. We've had rookies so far really step up. You know, I don't know if we're getting 3 players from a 6 and 10 team. We're not the Aces this year. You know, that's probably not going to happen. But I definitely think you're right. Just because Diana Taurasi has not like a horrible year, definitely, 15 points per game. Along with 4 assists, not shooting too bad. Definitely raised it up from 3. Now shooting around 34%, right up there with the other Mercury. Mallory saying to me, anti-coach doing the sweetest voice possible. Yes, absolutely. She's been the nicest person to call for a coach's head in eons. Okay, so we do have that there. But yeah, I definitely expect Taurasi to be involved in some way. And if Tina Charles, like Aaliyah said, gets in there, that would be great. She's definitely a little bit of an adjustment period, but she actually leads the Mercury in 3-point percentage, 16 points per game, 7 rebounds. Like, that's really solid. And we've seen the impact she's had on the Mercury in the games that they've won. So, that's just more of a testament to possibly her being in the game. But we'll see. All-Star reserves next week. By the time we get on our show next week, we'll be able to look back and, react to joy or express our outrage. So, that'll be something we look forward to doing here on the PHNX Mercury show. But it's time to recap. It's time to recap some of the games. We all came on here and said we were really hoping for a 3-0 start. As Mallory, cut to the chase, we're not there. We didn't get that. We 0-2 in our last 3, losing in a rematch to the Wings. We really thought we had that in the bag. 93-88. Good game, tight game, close game, but a loss nonetheless. And then playing the Lynx, which I remember, I think it was Mallory said, was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice to play a game where we're gonna have a team where we don't gotta worry about it. Like, we're just gonna relax and just watch a win. I guess maybe we were speaking for the Minnesota Lynx fans. Aaliyah, Mallory, let's react to this. First off, on us being 0-2, Aaliyah, first thoughts.
That's what I get for joining the Corban positivity train.
Ooh.
Right? I don't know if I was the bad luck charm, maybe, but yeah, Dallas, they came out strong. Their starters played extremely well. Enrique had another standout game against us with 24 points and 6 assists. Tierra McCowan came off the bench with a double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Like, there wasn't much beating this team. Like, we held our own a little bit. We picked it up in the second half, outscoring the Wings by 9, but just not enough to secure the win, unfortunately. And yeah, it's kind of like another one of those games where I was like, okay, I'm not super disappointed that we lost just because we've lost a lot, but impressed a little bit by how we're playing as a team more. And like, there were some shining moments, I guess you could say, overall. In that Dallas game. Minnesota, I don't know. Like, we started the game strong. After first quarter, I really don't know what happened. I don't know what team came off the bench after that first 10 minutes, but it was not the Phoenix Mercury. And I think that the biggest thing was that the Lynx played at a consistent pace, and they knew how to successfully chip away at our flow and our defense enough to throw us off guard. And we just couldn't get a hold of the scoreboard again. These kinds of games are obviously frustrating because the team was just kind of getting in a groove, kind of getting into a flow with each other. And we had, again, some standout moments. Skylar scored 25 points. Diana had 15. Shea Petty came off the bench, solid again with 12. I think even though we are on an upward trend, we're still trying to get our legs. As far as coaching, still trying to figure out how the team fits in with this new kind of coaching practice and offense. So, I don't know. I'm kind of trying to just stay in the middle now and just be like, you know what? I'm going to pull out the positive things in each game, whether it's a win or a loss, and hopefully we end up on the upside.
Yeah, I was starting to feel positive before these 2 games, but now I'm kind of back in the mindset I was 2 weeks ago, where I'm kind of like, what is happening? We have this amazing roster. Can we get it together? So I'm just confused. Can we just be consistent? That's all I ask.
Yeah, I feel you on that. It's been a weird couple of games. And I think one common thread I've seen is that we can't seem to get more than 3 members of the Mercury going at any one time. And they're not always the same 3. Against Dallas, you brought up Tina Charles, 27 points. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 21, 14 from Diamond to Shields. Unfortunately, very little from Taurasi and Shea Petty, and Shea Petty's really the only bench scoring we have right now with Sophie Cunningham being out. And then the very next game, Skylar Diggins steps up, so does Taurasi, or Skylar Diggins steps up and then Taurasi, but then we're also missing now Tina Charles, and then we're not getting much either from Diamond and Shields, who disappears as well. So it's one of those things where, I was surprised against, I thought, Tierra McGowan, the Dallas Wings, just more height, length, physicality in terms of up front, that Tina Charles would have a much tougher game. Nah, she beasted, she thrived. But then against the Lynx, and they have a pretty solid front line as well, but just 7 points. Yes, she battled foul trouble, but 2-8 from the field. The Shields just 5 points on 5 shots. And then again, we're looking at Skylar Diggins and Taurasi, 25 and 15 respectively, and then 12 on the bench for Shea Petty. And that's all, folks. That's not going to do it, consistently against these teams that are putting up, 88 to 85 to 90 something points a game. And the Mercury have been pretty steady, getting 70 plus. And that's because, we're not getting enough points. Or if we do get the 88 to 93 loss we had to the Wings, one player just had to have a monster performance, to get us the lion's share of the points, because it's not like you can look at that and go, wow, all the Mercury team effort, we did great. Nah, it's one person really went off, in this case, Tina Charles, and then Skylar Diggins had some, Diamond Shields had some, and that's it. And I just feel I guess my question to y'all is that a coaching issue? Is that just different players not really knowing when to step up and when to kind of take a seat back? It's not, aside from Skylar, there's not a consistent offensive threat on this team that we've seen so far. Obviously, the team's full of consistent offensive threats in their history, but this season is you don't really know what you're going to get from one night to the next from anyone outside of Skylar and Breonna Turner, because she's usually going to get you 6 to 8 points.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I don't know what to really chop it up to other than coaching. I think all of these players are either seasoned veterans or have been in the league and know how to play at that professional level and have been successful at the professional level. So I think they all know how to kind of step up and, 1, be a leader, or 2, be a good follower and kind of be a cohesive unit on the floor. And so when we're seeing these really great players who in the offseason, everyone was like, whoa, why did all these amazing people come to Phoenix? Why are we seeing these people who we know can make a great difference as a whole unit on the floor not blend that well? And the only other answer is coaching. And that's the only other thing that's changed, is we have a new coaching system and new offense that they're trying to learn. Obviously, there's some wiggle room with, coming together with new teams and new teammates and that kind of a thing. But I think we're past that kind of fresh start spot, right? We're at 17, 18 games now. Y'all should know kind of the flow of things. And the only other thing that's not on the floor with them is the coach.
Yep. Completely agree with everything you said there. All these people, all the people on the roster know when to step up, when to not. So I don't want to just keep repeating myself, but it could be a coaching issue. What can I say?
Oh, I'm muted. Lovely. just right in line with the season. No, okay. Trying to get my head to stop floating in and out. Background's failing me today. Anywho, what was I saying? Okay, I was talking about what we were talking about going in, which was the Mercury and their inconsistent performance. And without saying the same thing, I thought we'd kind of throw a twist in here, kind of mixed up a little bit. And I was like, is there a singer, celebrity, a celebrity chef, I don't know, anyone you want to compare this 6-10 Phoenix Mercury team to? And you can take that however you want. Is this a team that, fallen short of potential, seems like they would be a really good idea but failed? I'm going to compare the Mercury to a recipe, actually. But we're going to throw it to Aaliyah first, because I want to see, what is this team like? What are we comparing this to?
So first, I want to highlight this little thought that Josh had in the chat. This team got national attention in social media, and the result has got to be one of the biggest letdowns in Arizona sports history, in my opinion. Well, we all have bad opinions, and that's okay, Josh. I'm not sure if you watched the Suns this season, but I don't think we can say this was the biggest letdown of Arizona sports. But anyway, I don't know. I don't want to throw shots anywhere here. And then here you go again, talking about Drake. Don't at me. Wow. Mine's close. Okay. Mine's close.
I was going to say Drake. I have to think of a new one. I have to think of a new one now, Josh.
I guess, I could concur with Drake currently, just because that last little secret album he tried to drop it's growing on me. I'm not going to lie. At first I was like, no. And now I'm kind of like, okay, maybe. But no, my example was going to be Jack Harlow, actually. Good and true. Can't go wrong with my guy. Only because I think he has so many chances to be, successful. And he kind of came up, got signed with a good label, DJ Drama. His crew had a really, really good breakout freshman album. And then this sophomore album just tanked. Not it. Don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's made a complete fall off. So I think people had a lot of hope for him and hope for kind of the direction he's going to go. Now he's trying to be an actor in the next basketball movie, right? Everyone just kind of has a big question mark surrounding Jack Harlow. And that's kind of how I feel about the Mercury, right? Coming in out of the off season, things are going to be great. We had Diamond, we had Tina, we have Diana, we have Skylar, all these amazing players that have amazing careers and amazing, stats behind them. And then we got here and we're like, whoa, I don't know what happened. So that's my pick.
Mallory.
I think you have to circle back to me. I have to think of a new one because mine was great.
Josh in the chat, swiper, no swiping, but he totally did. I'm gonna compare mine here to a recipe I made. Shout out to college. Who doesn't like buffalo stuff, right? Buffalo wings, buffalo sauce, right? Who doesn't like mashed potatoes, right? Just good old-fashioned mashed potatoes. Buffalo ranch mashed potatoes. In theory, this sounded like an amazing idea. Corban had a bottle of ranch. He had some red hot buffalo sauce, had some instant mashed potatoes, a little bit of milk. Went to the store, got a little thing of sour cream, got some cheese. I was like, oh boy, it's about to be like TGI Fridays or Applebee's or I don't know. I've never heard a restaurant make this, and probably good reason. All these great ingredients that I love. I put them on this big old bowl. I heated it up. I sat down. It kind of looked like I had already eaten and thrown it back up. That was the consistency, which was probably a sign that it wasn't a good idea. But I went and tasted it, and everything was all bad. It was all bad because it was sour, and it was chunky, and it was is that ranch? It was just really weird. But as I'm sitting here eating this by myself watching, I don't got to tell you what I'm watching. I'll tell you what I was watching. It was all that, Nickelodeon reruns. Tough time in my life. Anyways, I'm sitting there eating this. I'm like, where did I go wrong? And yeah, you can say that for my life, but also just for the mashed potatoes, where did I go wrong? And I couldn't quite put a finger on it. Elizabeth will try those potatoes. I tell you, maybe twice bake the potatoes, maybe use real russet potatoes and not dollar store, instant mash. Didn't have a lot of money. Point being, I'm trying to figure out what went wrong with that recipe. And the problem is I couldn't pinpoint one thing. It was probably everything all mixed together. It just didn't work. And I spent the remainder of the evening trying to figure out, did I add too much of this? Did I put too much of that? Me being the chef with that, I feel like this is the Mercury. This is the Mercury. Is it Nygaard? Did Taurasi, have to take too much of a load for someone who has put a lot of miles to the W? Is Tina Charles playing in a system where she is used to being more inside out and having to be outside in now? Is it the coaching? Is it, of course, the horrible Brittany Griner situation? What is it? Because it's not just one thing, but it feels like 18 different things, and it's all in this big bowl of buffalo ranch mashed potatoes. So that's my analogy. I was going to go with Drake. I'm so glad I changed it. Not because mine was better, just because mine didn't get stolen. But Mallory, I ran out of time. I tried to stress that out for you.
I'm just still thinking about the dollar store potato.
Oh, it was a rough time.
I think the worst part of that was maybe just the idea. So I think we could start there.
It felt like such a good idea. I feel like this was us in the off season. I was like, we were talking. We said, listen, Aaliyah, we said championship contenders. We were just throwing it out casually up in PHNX office. We were just like, oh, we good. But you're right. Dollar store mashed potatoes never right. I don't even remember the brand, but it was Dollar General. Don't do it. But Mallory, now come to you.
Okay. What I thought of on the fly here as a replacement for Drake, because I think we're all in a consensus about Drake, the chat too. The album was a letdown. One good song on the album, not what you're wanting from one of the best rappers of all time, my opinion. Aaliyah's like, oh. Anyway, I'm going the Brooklyn Nets because before they traded James Harden. Because you have James Harden, you have Kyrie Irving, you have Kevin Durant. 3 amazing players. What's not working? Is it the coaching? Is it Steve Nash as a first-time head coach that he doesn't know what to do with all this talent? Well, Vanessa Nygaard, first-time head coach in the W, she doesn't know what to do with all this talent. I think that's a good comparison. And Josh saying it's a fantastic choice. Thank you. I'm proud that I thought of it on the spot.
There you go. Josh approves. We love that here. And that was really good for on the spot too. I'm not gonna lie. So we have seriously, no, wait, I don't know who you're saying that to. Hopefully it's not about mashed potatoes.
Probably me.
Oh, okay. Hopefully not about mashed potatoes.
Probably something about the fact I called Drake one of the best rappers of all time.
Oh wow. I mean, he clearly is though.
Our family are not Drake fans.
I mean, listen, I don't want to judge your family wrongly, but you apparently love Jack Harlow. So if your family loves Jack Harlow, then
I never said I love music. But anyway, go back to your instant mashed potatoes.
No, we're not going back there.
Okay.
What we're gonna do? We're gonna take those mashed potatoes. We're gonna leave them in the last segment. We're gonna talk about DraftKings. Yeah, that's what we're about to do. All right, Mercury fans, listen. Take your action. Let's go to the court. It's been another great year for everyone but the Mercury, but we've had our moments, okay? And you can cash in on that, far and few between here at DraftKings Sportsbook. Turn your team's victory, we get a few, into your own big win. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win. Get $200 in free bets if they do. Pretty simple. They win, you win. Listen, it's been a rough year, but I've had a few games that I was going to put some dime on. I was going to do it. I still might. But don't let my inaction stop you, okay? Don't be like Jack Harlow. Be Drake in this situation, okay? Be one of the best to ever do it and do it with DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also bet on, of course, WNBA hoops with same-game parlays. That means you can buy multiple bets from the same game and get a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you win. You just build that thing out like Jenga, except without the fall, okay? DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. You feel something's not going right. You have a bad feeling about those horrible ranch potatoes. Call it off. Dump the whole thing out. Take it back, and you're good to go and live another day, okay? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code PHNX. Bet just $5 on any WNBA team to win, but really keep the faith. The Mercury will have the winning streak. I feel it, okay? And get $200 back in free bets if they do. If they win, you win with the promo code PHNX this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and older, Arizona only. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only, minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. All right, so we've left those 2 games in the past. We have left the analogy. That was fun. We're going to have to do it again in the future, hopefully for better things moving forward. Now we got to look, well, before we close out the week entirely, we got to get our nominations. I feel like at this point, there's still been some good games, so I don't feel totally horrible, but it's not. I feel like it's going to be the same people for everything at this point because we've had the same result. This almost feel like deja vu, but it's PHNX Player of the Week and PHNX Hustle Player of the Week. And so I'm going to start with you, Aaliyah. Mallory, I have Aya's, and then I'll give myself. But who are we nominating this week?
So for me, I have for my Player of the Week, I have Skylar just because she's always the most consistent. like we've already said, she deserves all her accolades, and I think that's just the main person that this team can depend on for every game. And then hustle player of the week, I give it to Shea. Either again, I don't know if I did that last week or the week before, but she's just, again, someone she always comes off the bench, gives 150% regardless of what, our losing streak is, what the scoreboard has, what team we're playing. She's someone that, is always going to come off the bench and put at least 10 on the board. So, yeah, I think she's really fighting for a starting spot, and I think she really deserves it for sure. Yeah.
I am going with Skylar Diggins-Smith, of course, for Player of the Week, and then Diamond DeShields for Hustle Player of the Week. No explanation needed. They do what they need to do. They're, they go out there and score and they hustle.
There you go. IAB Dean, our writer, member of our team here, has nominated Skylar Diggins-Smith as the Player of the Week because she has been scoring hard, and she has a co-Hustle Player of the Week award. And that goes to Taurasi and Tina Charles because they've been helping the Mercury with leadership. Definitely agree there. I am going to go with Skylar Diggins-Smith as the Player of the Week. And for my Hustle Player of the Week, it's going to be Shea Petty. And I feel like I did this last week. Again, deja vu. But again, Skylar Diggins has been the steadiest contributor starting. Shea Petty, the steadiest contributor coming off the bench. She brings the energy. She brings the hustle. And that's why, the Mercury have had those two to rely on all season long. So, those are who we have now. Maybe let me throw a wild card in there. Do we see maybe another player coming in that we have a good feeling about possibly taking either the Player of the Week award or the Hustle Player of the Week award for this next week?
For this next week, I don't know. I think Tina definitely, at least for me, Tina can definitely get back in there because she's Tina Charles. I think kind of where my head's at is as soon as Sophie's back, I think she's going to be someone that's also very dependable off the bench. Obviously, she's already proven herself that way, but I think we're really hurting without her. So, yeah, I'm excited for her to get back on the floor.
I'm Mallory real quick. I'm sorry.
Just on the Sophie thing, I want to add a new, maybe just this one time, like fits of the week. Like Sophie Cunningham, even when she's not playing, she shows up to the arena and those fire fits every single day, from the shoes to the shirt to her poses that she does every single time. I'm giving my fits of the week to Sophie Cunningham. But yeah, she needs to step up for sure when she comes back. And I want to see Taurasi being the GOAT, and I want to see her get back into our Player of the Week.
I agree. Also, I like that as a new segment for the week. We can
nominate. I
like that. There you go, Lee. I feel it.
Little thing. Segment.
There we go. I think that's cool. Definitely. Speaking of, I have shared earlier, and this is just news in general. Sophie Cunningham has been upgraded to questionable for tomorrow night's game against the Lynx. So that will be interesting to see her. Much needed help off the bench in terms of scoring, shooting, energy, all of that. So definitely look forward to seeing her there. But yeah, let's kind of look toward next week. So, we have a rematch against the Lynx, already mentioned. That'll be tomorrow. Over the weekend, playing the Wings again. So that will happen. Rematch City. Then is a back-to-back set. Well, not back-to-back days, but a 2-game set against the Indiana Fever. One on Monday at 7, one on Wednesday at 7. So I'm not gonna throw a prediction out first. Aaliyah, I'm gonna have you. I'm throwing over to you to predict where the Mercury land, because yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you. I think looking forward, like we need to focus on beating Indiana and Minnesota. These are two teams that we've either already beaten or we are ranked above. And even though we're not ranked that well, we are above them. So I think we have the ability to beat them. Obviously, a win against Dallas would be great, but at this point in the season and the way that we have been playing, our focus needs to be on overall improvement as a team rather than trying to get the most wins, because whatever we're doing now isn't getting us where we need to be. And so I think if we can try to just get into a cohesive team-like, flow and have momentum coming off of the bench and momentum coming off of our coaching staff and have players depending on each other and just running clean plays and running clean defense, like I've been saying, that's going to be a win in my book more than what's on the scoreboard, because at this point we're past what's on the scoreboard and we really just need to get on the same page as a unit. So, yeah.
Solid. I like that. Mallory, any outstanding predictions? Any vibe you're feeling about this team? What are your thoughts? Great breakdown, Leah. I'm gonna have to steal some of that.
I'm scared to make like predictions because I feel like we jinxed it last week and I get superstitious when it comes to sports. So I'm not gonna make like we're going 2-0 or 0-2. Like I'm just gonna say let's have some good games and play some good team basketball.
There we go. Listen, I don't want to make a prediction, but like I also moonlight as a Lakers fan, so you already know that I'm slightly delusional. We're going 4-0, baby. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're going 4-0. All right. Against the Wings, we just gotta focus on our defense, of course. Maybe getting Tina Charles started early. Skylar Diggins-Smith and Tina Charles playing that two-person action. I see that going on our favor. We can't lose to them 3 times. Like, just it has to average out. Okay. That's why we are jinxed. No, okay, that's what has to happen. All right. Then, well, the Wings are Saturday. We're going to be 1-0 by beating the Lynx tomorrow in a rematch. We shouldn't have lost the way we did. The first half, I thought the Mercury clearly had control. It was the second half where a little more tired. I think Sophie Cunningham gives a jolt of energy this Mercury team desperately needs. So, boom, that's 1-0. Wings rematch. We're not going to lose to them 3 times. 2-0. Then the Fever. What's the Fever? Okay, 3-4. I nailed it right there. 4-0. All right. And if we don't go at least 3-1, I'll never make another 4-0 prediction. There you go, Josh. Exactly. Undefeated mentality all day. Okay. I let the last loss just roll off our back, especially because we have to go 4-0. Because after this, we have like the Sky and the Sparks and the Liberty and the Lynx again and the Mystics. Like we have some teams there that I'm just not going to talk about right now because we're not there. Right now, we are in the beginning of a 4-game win streak, okay? I feel it in my bones, okay? And it's not the mashed potatoes talking. So I'm with it. I'm pumped. Let's go.
Okay. Well, that's something. I'm going to go with the hashtag Mallory mentality. But,
Love it, Leah, and that's true.
I love the delusion. Like I said, not every thought is good, but everyone, you can have your own opinion.
From the Jack Harlow fan herself. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Just saying, hey, Corban, what did Mercury have to do to make you reattempt those potatoes?
All right, listen, Josh, right now we got to get rusted potatoes, not from the dollar store, from the actual, like a Walmart or, your local convenience store, right? Maybe you do the ranch packets that you can control and not just random ranch dressing. And I wouldn't say Frank's hot sauce. I would try to find like a more specified version that would blend well with the flavors there. No sour cream. It clashes with the hot sauce. Huh?
Maybe like a potato skin moment and like oven, give it a little bit of like substance.
I thought obviously I've thought about this. What about putting some green onion in there? Just mix it up a little bit. Get that baked potato feel. Yeah. Now Mallory's face scrunched up. I don't know if she liked that idea. No?
I don't really like green onion, but that's not your friend.
All right, no, we'll mop it back. But Josh, that's what I say. Like, let's do 100% real potatoes. Let's get the ranch seasoning packets, and like a specified, maybe a more mild hot sauce, and let's not add sour cream because what that does with the hot sauce, it just wasn't pleasant. That the Mercury, that's what they. Oh, I'm sorry, I was trying to solve my recipe. What did the Mercury have to do?
I think you read that question wrong.
I was like, what do I have to do to fix it? I'm so glad you asked. Okay, here we go. No, the Mercury, I think Coach Nygaard has to do a better job of her rotations. Like sometimes. I'm not calling for Coach Nygaard's head, but I am saying that I think there is a fundamental misunderstanding of like when players are fatigued and when the bench absolutely needs to be out there to spell them for minutes, So like, yes, you may not have a lot of scoring off the bench. I think we all know that, but you can also not run Diana Taurasi 35 minutes. You also, Skylar Diggins-Smith is younger than Taurasi, but you also can't run her that crazy of a time, that crazy amount of time, and have her shoulder allow the offense. You have to really be selective, particularly in the front court, where I think Anigwe can at least focus on more rebounding, and help out there. If the Merc win the next game, everyone will try it. Yes. You know what, Elizabeth? I'm with it. What do y'all think?
Have a little cook-off. I'm down.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody show what they're doing for the next show.
If the Mercury win their next game, we can go live in studio and try the potatoes if we want.
I mean, listen, it's a thought. I'm just saying that's a good idea. That's a thought. We could very well do that. Oh man, that would be fun. But yeah, I'm with that, especially since like it's the Lynx. Let me not say I said it was the Lynx last time. Look what happened. Revenge, revenge, a rematch. There it is, Josh. Yes, be an amazing dish. But Isaiah, hey, want the Mercury to win? Yeah, we need a few. We need a few for sure. But anyway, y'all. Those are my points. I've exhausted the hot takes, the cooking tips, the singing comparisons. This has been a fun, full show. But before we sign off, do you have anything I want to close with?
No, I don't think so. I'm excited. I'm waiting for that Josh potato buffalo, the graphic that I know he's already making. That's gonna clown all of us. But no, I had a lot of fun. I like our ideas for next week. So go Merc. And yeah, I was just saying, glad you finally got to catch a live. I'm so glad you did too. It was fun.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see you guys next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to shout out our friends at Four Peaks, our official beer of PHNX. I am finally coming back to the great city of Phoenix this weekend, and the first place I'm going is to Four Peaks, their brewery in Tempe, because I have heard nothing but great things. So if you guys want to head out to Tempe and try the beers there, that's what I'm going to be doing. If you don't want to go to the brewery, you can find it at your local grocery store in Arizona, order online, all that. But check out Four Peaks because they're amazing.
Yeah. You know, Leah brought out Four Peaks last week, also put me on Twin Peaks. I might watch some Twin Peaks, drinking some Four Peaks with my mashed potatoes. It's going to be great.
Wow.
Look at the tie-ins. Yes, that's what I'm saying. All right, Tom, this has been fun. Definitely make sure to follow us on Twitter. Again, definitely check out DraftKings Sportsbook for sure as well. We'll be back next week, hopefully coming off a string of wins. It's a celebration and just great cheer. But until next time, y'all, for Mallory, for Aaliyah, for myself, it's been a great show. And as always, go Mercury.
Go Mercury.